Welcome everybody to session 25 or at Headstone Hill. Getting up there, but getting towards the end. Wrapping up here as the last session we had wandered into chasing after Debony as he found out he ran off after the big fight, the big showdown there in town between the Miners Guild and Heaston, the massacre. And found out that Dr. Kirk said that Millie, I believe it is, saw him running off with a wagon full of injured or something that he was supposed to bring back. Really odd. So kind of ran out in that direction, past to Poverty Flats, I believe it was, and came upon a barn that... First ran into some prairie dogs with dynamite strapped to them. And then once you got into the barn itself, saw a bunch of individuals in cloaks, robes, chanting weirdly. And then eventually came upon a few of them being like laid out in front of these weird plant pods, knocked out unconscious. And then also this large plant tree trunk like abomination that came alive and attacked some innocent bystanders and yourselves. But you were able to take them out, rescue as many of the miners as you could, almost all of them. But unfortunately, Debony did slip away. But... you did at least get from the miners some information. While they were slipping into their slumber, they kept hearing sacrifice for the mother tree, offering to the mother tree. And with that, you wondered, what does this all lead to? What does this have to do with everything? Still wondering where the hell Agent Reeg is at. That's where we pick up. We are still outside of that barn. What all would you guys like to do?
Nobody's got thoughts.
Well, I mean, we should probably... We don't really have a trail on Debony, do we? I think I remember someone trying to look.
Yeah. I deleted it, but somebody critical failed on the survival. Might have been John, actually. But it was a crit failure. I think he like tripped over himself looking, but yeah. Was not able to notice anything where he got out. The barn continues to go up in flames from the various fire-based attacks that were cast as well to deal with this tree abomination as well.
Are all of the miners that we got out, are they waking up? Or are they still knocked out?
Yeah, they're coming around. Groggy, definitely. You know, a few of them are... Some are a little better than others. But yeah.
Okay. With the miners in particular, did we recognize anyone or know of anybody that was missing? I mean, that was one of the assumptions we were, I think, trying to put together at the end. Was whether or not these people had all been missing for a while. Is there a natural way to make that connection, or we just need to talk to these folks?
It kind of sounds like these people were on the wagon that Debony was, like, gathering to supposedly take to the doctor.
Yeah, seems like he stole a bunch of injured.
From the battle.
Yeah, from the battle.
Is that... I didn't put that together the first time, but in your recap, that kind of seemed like what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. maybe some of the individuals though that were inside as well could have been, you know, part of that convoy as well. But you do remember seeing the barber?
Yep. Gallagher.
Yep, the two helpers of Debony in the shop. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, whatever their names were.
It was some weird names.
It's like Buckshot and something, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Looks like there's a discount on merchandise back at the store then.
A 5-finger discount?
Oh, Frontier Store is Pod and Buckshot, yeah.
Wait, his name's Pod?
Pod, H-O-D.
Okay. I was gonna say, motherfucker.
Super over, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the most staggering thing about all this is that Doc Moon was right. Pod people exist.
I mean,
kinda.
he was also making some plant monsters, so
That is true. Seems to be a theme.
now I got this mother tree to find, if it exists.
Yeah. Offerings to the
So it
mother
is
tree.
pushing
It's real late, isn't it?
evening. Yeah, because you had the big fight was basically afternoon, middle, noon or so, dealing with that, and then making your way out here, dealing with what you just came across and whatnot. So it's starting to push into the evening, dinner time. So yeah, are you looking to press on, to set up camp somewhere, or turn back around?
which way are we from town?
You're out
You're
east, aren't we?
east.
East, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess none of us have any real idea where Debony would be.
No.
No, totally.
No.
Totally clueless on where he'd be skedaddling to at this point.
Yeah, you would know probably well enough. You can see on the Easton Hill Environs map that further east and a little north, the forest, the Aspen Forest, gets much more dense and heavier, and seems to kind of be that direction of where he took off to.
Toward the forest.
I don't remember if this was looked into or looked at. I thought something came up about the Aspens. Doc Moon mentioned something about the Aspen.
Yeah, and I think in one of Reed's notes he mentioned something about people going missing out there.
Yeah, I've got that. In my notes, Doc Moon. Yeah, Doc Moon said that Ghost Rock was corrupting the aspen trees.
And then Uncle James, you're talking about something that Reed had, right?
Yeah, I think it was on one of the handouts. Try to just...
Versa, easier to read.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't seen this shit since 3rd grade.
Secret Society one, Orium.
Maybe I'm misremembering something.
I think, I mean, in general, or like kind of coming into maybe that initial letter from O'Malley, or just reports that people had been going missing.
Okay.
Yeah, that might have been it. So, but what Reverend mentioned, you did recall from Doc Moon. And I would say that, you know, no check even necessary. Even looking at the remains of the tree trunk abomination creature that attacked, you can see that it looks to be of a aspen tree nature. You know,
Right. With ghost rock mixed in because it was fairly explosive, if I recall correctly.
yes. Yep. It did. It did. In fact.
Well, if we think Debbie's headed towards the forest, I guess we can go that way. I just don't know if we want to do that in the
It's a lot of forest
middle
to
of
cover.
the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Well, I
should we-
definitely think we should just hitch ourselves to this big, beautiful bonfire of a barn and hang out here tonight. Cozy like. And then head out in the morning.
Yeah. No sense in going back to town if we're just gonna head back this way in the morning.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You have supplies nearby. Bring in, you know, near here to set up your camp.
Oh yeah, because we left the wagon a little ways away, didn't we?
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
eventually started hitting some of the edge of the forest where it got a little dense for that to come in. So hold off and in a spot retrievable enough. So, someone keeping watch? Reverend?
Yeah, I can.
Set up camp. Allow the others to get some rest. For your first watch. What you needed? What again? Just a few hours?
It's 1d6 hours of sleep, I think.
Oh, that's right. That sounds right.
And I don't know that I get to decide when that happens. Sometimes the demon just gets tired and it decides it's time to recharge. I'm looking to be sure right now.
It can.
I'll roll. Hey,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
So, Reverend, you begin your first watch, and the rest of the gang settles in, gets some rest. Uncle James does some work on chopping down some of these trees, sawing logs, if you will. And yeah, a few hours go by. Reverend, give me a notice check.
Sure.
Very nice.
Oh, I'm still at a -1 for the bumps and bruises. When does that go away?
When did that happen?
That happened during the fight.
The fight, 24 hours.
Cool. So yeah, I'm
So-
still there.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, when we wake up, that'll be good there. But you're alert, especially given your past the past experience at the mine. You really don't want to have a repeat of that, and you just that's really keeping you on edge. And you can hear the creatures of the forest. Just a constant white noise of buzz and cackles and this and that, mixed into just the dead silence as well that the trees dampen. You do hear in the distance what you think, though, seems similar to the scream of a human. Like a person screaming.
How far in the distance?
It's a ways out.
Okay. From
But-
what direction?
Little bit further into the forests.
Okay. I'll slap John. John. Someone's screaming out there in the forest.
Say we're a good 3-4 hours into the night at this point.
The hell you mean somebody's screaming?
Does it sound like a man or woman? Can I tell at this distance?
More male. Yeah. John, you don't hear anything. It stopped at this point. It was just a kind of a shriek.
Came from deeper in the woods. Might be a lead. What are the odds there are two sets of things out here capable of making people scream?
Yeah. Suppose that's true. You suggesting we all go out there, or just the two of us?
I think we ought to wake everyone up and get moving.
Good luck.
I assume if we go over and physically wake you up, that
Yeah.
wakes you up.
Yeah.
Just put a gun right next
As
to
long
his
as we're
ear.
not in rounds of combat, like I think at some point you can. Although,
The cry comes out once again. John and Reverend, go ahead and give me another notice check at -2.
Okay.
Both of us, or just?
Yep. Yeah, both of
Okay.
you.
No. Not this time.
Okay. You hear once again this cry of an individual in the distance.
Wow. Quadruple zeros. No, you know what? I'll Benny that. Sorry. Still not gonna do it. Never mind.
Why is John at -2? What's wrong with John?
Because I called it -2.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Difficulty
Yep.
modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start. We'll wake up the others. I'll wake up JT. We got something screaming in the distance. Might be our next lead on where not Heaston. Devaney's gone off too.
Well, I take it this time it had nothing to do with you being on watch in the middle of the night.
I'm still here. So no. It's me.
I mean, if I were a devil and I possessed your body, I'd probably say that too.
Please do inform me on the intricacies of demon possession. Tell me, oh illustrious JT Beauregard.
All right, point taken. Point taken. I'll leave the demon possession expertise to the possessed.
And I'll keep my mouth shut when it comes to aliens and their probes and
That's
whatnot.
unlikely, but I will. I appreciate
oh,
the
don't
concession.
don't get him started.
I need to get rid of one of these.
All right. 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So was it enough to get a recharge? A couple of hours. I think it's 5 an hour.
You guys slept 4 hours.
Okay.
So in that regard, you still need some more sleep and not deal with that issue with fatigue and whatnot.
Right, but for PowerPoints, we should be
PowerPoints, absolutely, yeah.
in good shape. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I grab my bag and accoutrements and Point me in the direction of the screaming, innocent victim of the forest.
Northwest.
Perhaps it's wolves.
Perhaps.
I really hope it is. And hopefully they speak Latin this time.
All right. So you breaking camp and heading out.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You head in the direction. You have a great bead on the direction, Reverend. You head that way. It's still very dark out. It's still early in the morning, and
Y'all notice in the dark, the Reverend's eyes kind of glow now, like a bright yellow sort of tinge to them. You can see them reflecting like on the underside of the brim of his hat.
What the hell happened to you, Reverend?
Huh? What?
You're,
What do you mean?
Not the
I didn't-
strongest argument for not being possessed.
Yeah, it's tough. What do you mean?
Your
What he means is the face of a
eyes.
sinner, the hands of a beast. The brim of your hat hides the eye of a beast, sir.
All right.
You got 2 lanterns in your skull, is what he's saying.
Is it dark out right now?
yeah,
Real
yeah,
dark?
yeah, really dark.
No, he's asking that
Oh,
main
sorry.
character.
Sorry.
Well, I don't see the sun. But...
well, usually a real strong indication of nighttime is them stars there, and that thing over there we call the moon.
Huh.
The hell happened to you back there? One of them plants hit you in the head too damn hard?
I do not know. This is new for me as well.
Well,
But I can see a lot better, at least. So there's that. Let's go.
Well, you lead the way there then, Bright Eyes.
Not sure I like that. What am I,
Twinkle,
groping?
twinkle, little priest.
Yeah, but Todd, I don't know if I told you, but I now negate all dim and dark penalties
Okay.
with cat eyes with my new edge.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. So yes, you do see the world, the forest before you, almost as if it was, daylight. Probably a little more monochromatic, but still, you see it well enough. And you march on with your companions into the forest, towards the source of the sound, the scream.
are they still going, or is it
The scream?
periodically? Yeah.
You haven't heard it. You and JT, Uncle James, you haven't heard it since you've been woken up.
Okay. So we're just kind of going in the direction that Reverend and John heard it from. Okay.
Yep. Begin heading in.
I think JT comes up close to Reverend. He's got his goggles pulled down. He's like, "Can you see those branches?
Yep.
What about that owl over there?
Yep.
Are those dandelions or daffodils by those
I am
bushes?"
not an expert in horticulture, but they look like dandelions to me.
Fascinating. Truly fascinating. Now, which side of your divine profane arrangement do you think this comes from?
Well, I did not ask for it. So either God is paying more attention, or it's the bad side.
Fascinating.
I'm glad you think so.
Is it color too, or is it really just like the darkness has no cloud for you?
There's not a lot of color. It's mostly black and white, shades of gray.
Fascinating.
How many? Hey.
Oh, I don't know. I can't count terribly high. Maybe there are 49 of them or so.
Jesus.
1, 2, 3.
Pop Culture Wednesday, folks. First I'm quoting Sting, and now we get some E.L. James.
Thursday also.
Yeah, whatever day it is.
Time has no meaning these days.
Time is a weird.
Everyone, go ahead and give me a notice roll at a -4.
Oh God! All right.
Oh. Ah.
Wait, is the -4? Is that part of darkness?
It is not.
Ah, that's a shame.
It is not. So. Well, okay. So you all see above the tree line. There's a large ridge that kind of looms over, and you see something up there, a shadowy, dark object figure. But JT, probably most appropriate. You probably got the goggles on. The goggles give you enhancement to like zoom as well, right? Distance. Or is it more?
It's just really darkness.
Dark. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll say there's a little bit, but it helps you sharpen in, and you can tell it's definitely an individual, a figure. And you see someone standing atop there, just kind of looking down, and the head is like kind of bulkier than what you would expect for a normal human. And as you focus, you realize that they're wearing a barley sack. Looks to be like some sort of a sack that sits over their head. You can see even a darker shadows where they probably have eye holes cut out. You see in the moon glisten off their belts where a weapon or two likely hangs. And other than that, it's tough to make out too many other details here in the darkness, but just an individual that seems to just stand up there looking out about the forests, seemingly in your direction.
So JT sort of stops. Reverend, what about that? That scarecrow, Professor Sin looking strange person over there.
If he points him out, can I see him?
Yeah, you would all have kind of noticed it initially. Once JD points it out, you get a little bit of the same.
Yeah, I can see that. That's
Good.
mighty concerning.
You should probably go engage in conversation. On behalf of God and us.
Why don't we just keep moving a little closer? How far is it at this point?
To that individual.
Yeah. Or at least to the ridge.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent trek.
Okay.
You know, it's definitely not right there nearby, but definitely accessible.
Are we horseback and wagons?
Not wagons. You
Okay.
If you want, you can be on horseback. Just tough though, you know, it kind of slow navigating through the forest as it gets more dense.
I
Yeah,
guess
just-
keep moving ahead, but keep an eye on whatever
Yeah.
that is up there.
Yep.
As you do continue forward, seems that whether thinking you are heading in its direction, their direction, the figure does seem to turn and move away, disappearing behind the ridge out of view.
Yeah, let's get to the top of that ridge, see if we can't see any footprints or anything like that.
Continue trekking in that direction for a bit more. Somebody give me a survival roll. You're proficient. I think John?
Yeah, I've got that one.
All right. So you kind of help. Something is throwing you off. You're able to keep your bearings and keep your head on straight, but just you almost feel as if the forest is somehow moving around you. Very subtly, or you can't explain it, but there is just something eerie about the surroundings, and yourself is familiar with being out in the wilderness, survival, tracking. It's just really tough to just kind of, you know, keep on a direction, but you're able to do so. You head towards that ridge. As you get partway there, you come across a little bit of a clearing. You see a large object in the shadow, a large shadowy object in the middle of the clearing.
Is it shadowy for me?
No, you would be able to see that, JT, as well. It's a large covered wagon, tilted on busted wheels, weathered, you know, holes and frays in the covering, and just there by the trail. You see a wheelbarrow lying on its side from a distance as well. And you can see other things all about it, around it. Small objects of this and that. But not much detail until getting up a little closer.
And no sign of this figure anywhere.
The individual that you saw above the ridge, no. Nope. You're still a little bit a ways from the ridge at this point. But...
All right. It looks like a covered wagon.
You said it was tipped over on its side?
I think its wheels.
It's just
are
like a
broken,
couple
so it
wheels
might
are
be-
broken, so yeah, it's tilted over.
Okay,
Yeah, not
so
a,
it's-
yep.
I'm gonna watching my step because, you know, go for landmines or whatever they were, prairie dog landmines. I'll move up to the covered wagon and take a look inside.
Okay. So you head over. You see as you get closer, some of the objects get more clear in view. You see a child's doll, rag doll, but an eye missing from it, just laying there in the tall grass and the dirt. As you approach, you don't see any signs of life. Just the wind blowing through the flapping cover of the wagon. And the remnants of what was in this, in the wagon itself. A couple empty crates, empty cans, picked over for the most part, but looks pretty empty otherwise.
Doesn't look like there's anything here. I'll call back to the others. No horse skeletons or anything like that on the front of the wagon?
No.
Okay.
Is there any type of like even trail or anything here, or is this wagon in this spot just
Yeah,
seem
there
really
is
out
a
of place?
trail. It
Okay.
says it's on the Lone Tree Trail.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I said
yeah,
the,
that. Yep.
I said the forest was pretty dense. I was like, what the hell's a wagon doing in the
Yeah,
middle
it
of
is there along that main trail that runs out of town.
Okay.
Oh, so we've
I guess from looking at the wagon, does it seem like it's been here for a while? Like, is there any type of, I don't know. I guess if it's been there for like weeks or months, you would think like, oh, the vegetation's kind of growing up around
Right,
it and stuff
yeah.
by now, or is it?
It doesn't look. Not very recent, but it's definitely not been here that long.
Okay, so it's not like decayed and rotted
No,
away wood
nope.
kind of a thing. Okay. Well, I guess whose ever wagon this was, they didn't come back for it either by choice or they weren't around to do so.
Could I check for any like tracks leading, like away from the wagon?
Yeah. Yeah, give me a survival roll.
Boy,
oh boy.
not even trained.
I said, hell, Uncle James, I didn't know. Paul always said he was the tracker of the family. You didn't know shit about it.
Hey.
But I
You
guess,
you
you
look
get
around
lucky.
and
Oh, I have a -2.
there's not where it's in the grass. You don't really see much, and then you do see stuff at the trail, on the trail, but this trail does get used decently, so it's hard to tell if they specifically relate to this wagon or not.
Okay. I do have a -2 on that. I don't know why.
Because it's an unskilled attempt.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Before
Yeah.
-2.
Yep. Yeah, that would. Yeah, that would be why.
I haven't done a whole lot of those.
At this point, when you're looking around, you all now hear that scream again. JT and Uncle James, give me a notice check at. What was the last one I did? -2, I think, right, for you guys?
You
For
get
Reverend?
-4 for last.
Let me double check what it is.
I know I rolled mine at a -4.
-2. -2 on this.
Okay.
Very nice. So the both of you hearing this scream for the first time in the distance, still in that direction of where you were initially heading, a little bit off because you've kind of changed a little bit of course going towards the ridge, but the two of you both, you know, you just have the instinction to say, that's the scream you're talking about? There's something very off about it. It as Reverend and John described it as an individual, a human screaming. It seems like almost a bad attempt, a bad mimic of a scream.
Does it kind of sound like an animal, or is it?
Or is it like warbly or something like strange?
You know, like
Yeah, more
mountain
bestial,
lions-
more
Like
bestial.
mountain lions, like will do that kind of scream that like kind of sounds like a person. But I don't know actually how much experience I would have with mountain lions, but
Ideally 0, but you
Yeah.
never know.
Well, I never heard anything like that in my life.
What?
That scream, that noise.
Well, people are going missing around here. I wonder if that's some kind of, lure to draw them off the trail.
Well, Now we have to decide, is it going to work on us?
Well, if we
Well,
know it's not real, it's already failed.
If it still drags us off the trail to go investigate it, though, and we all die, some of us again, that might still count as a victory for the bad guys.
Well, as they said in my Twilight Legion orientation, going where the strange shit is part of the job.
I think I missed the orientation. I don't recall that. That sounds.
I'm sure the other guy attended for you.
Moving on. There is no other guy. It's just me. It's not a person.
Are you certain?
Don't do that. All right. Are we following this allegedly fake scream then?
Still coming from that same area that you've originally heard it as Reverend.
Is it like on the track with the dude we saw?
No, nope. So the ridge would be to the a little bit to the south, and then the scream would be a little bit more direct east, a little bit deeper into the forest itself. You guys, you all would have had to veer off a little bit to head towards that ridge.
Okay. So, ridge or the scream?
Well, I guess at least.
Thinking scream.
Well, I mean, whatever we saw up on the ridge, at least we saw the damn thing. Following sounds, we can't even see what the hell they're coming from.
Good point, but what if it is summoning people off the Lone Tree Trail? We really should know.
Could be where Krieg got off too.
Could be Krieg. Krieg.
Krieg. Yeah, Krieg. God. That's a. Never mind. Go check out Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon. Shit. What if the dude with the bag on his head is Rieg? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Out of character.
What if the thing screaming is a tiny child that's had its leg torn off and we're the only thing coming to save it?
I thought you said it didn't sound like a person.
It didn't sound like anything I've heard in my life.
Yeah, you heard it
Yeah,
here
that's,
first, folks. Children aren't people.
It's quite the predicament. You can't keep your own bullshit straight.
Wow, apparently don't even know what day it is, so.
Let's go after the scream, I think. It was what we set out to do. Seems to be the more immediate threat. And besides, if we cause a ruckus when we find the scream, then I'm sure Mr. Bag for a Head will come calling. If he's related to it at all.
Did he say if or when we cause a ruckus?
I said
definitely
if,
when.
but I meant when.
It's what we do best.
All right, so you said you're going towards the scream.
Scream. Yep, scream.
Okay.
Post haste.
Just
You-
remember, I can shoot a man with a bag on his head. I sure as shit can't shoot a scream.
True?
just letting it be said
make-
as we walk into that way.
You make some interesting points.
You head deeper into the forest. It's denser and denser. It's tough to navigate with your horses as well. Splitting up at times to get around there. John, go ahead and give me another survival roll. Nice. You feel very comfortable and confident at this point that you're heading in that direction. You're not these distractions that got to you earlier, you're able to push those away. You stay focused, heading towards this direction that you need to. And you feel like you're making ground, getting towards your destination. You travel for what seems to be a good while, a good half hour. And you feel you're closer to that distance. And you hear another voice, but it's not the scream. This one is more of a little bit deeper male voice for sure, but somebody calling out, "Sarah! Sarah! Hello!" And you see some lanterns flicker amongst the trees as a group of individuals. You can see the shadow, the light reflecting off of them, creating the shadows against them as you come up. I would assume all of you are carrying lanterns as well at this point, as it gets pretty dark. Or it is dark, I should say.
Not me.
You and JT, so Coopers are the Coopers.
I would be. Yeah, I like to see.
Yep.
So yeah, they would kind of, they're gonna see each other. You see those in the distance. So I guess at that point, what do you? Anything you guys doing?
Should we ask them if they've seen Debony?
What did you say that one of the voices said?
They were
Sarah.
calling out for Sarah. You hear it again. This time it adds a surname. Sarah Hook! Sarah! Sarah Hook!
Checks notes.
So, since we don't have the wagon, I'm thinking the maximum irritation here is that I'm on the Reverend's horse.
Oh God. Sarah.
I mean,
You all can
couldn't
make
you
a
just-
common knowledge roll at -2.
We're missing a critical detail, guys. What? Why didn't my not roll?
I know everything.
All right.
Oh, so does John.
Coopers are, not paying attention. But Reverend and JT, Reverend, the name for some reason feels familiar to you, but you just can't place it at all. But JT, especially when the surname comes out, just like, I overheard someone talking. That guy back in Angel's Corner. The guy talking about Bogwater Bill.
Oh, that Bogwater Bill would call out for Sarah all the time, right?
No. Sarah's gone missing. You heard that, You don't know the specifics,
Okay.
but you remember hearing that name along with the story of Bogwater Bill. Not sure the relationship.
Aren't we a ways off from?
Are we? Yeah.
Or wait, is the bog a place?
Bogwater Lake, I would assume.
It is.
Okay. Is that the
Are
direction?
we-
Is it east of?
You are.
Okay.
You're definitely north of that
Okay.
at this point, because you've gone deeper into the forest.
Okay. Good.
So,
was gonna say,
I
we
guess
got
I whisper-
lost.
I whispered to the Reverend. She's been missing for some time. We heard about this a few days ago
Oh.
at the diner.
Why am I remembering Bogwater Bill along with that?
That seems right. It's when we heard that story.
Was she the singer that like had
No,
a song about
no.
him?
No.
No, that was someone else.
Yeah.
Well, how long ago did Sarah go missing?
I don't recall.
Hello, strangers. Hello. Same voice rings out. You heard calling out Sarah.
You need some help, sir?
You see an individual in front of a small group. Grim-looking horsemen. Dark dusters, hats. The lead looks to be, deep wrinkles creasing his face. He white hair, wispy white hair with a matching mustache, and he looks exhausted, just worn down and tired and whatnot. But he says, "Hello, I'm Jeb Stroh, U.S. Marshal. I'm out here looking for a woman lost in these hills named Sarah Hoke. A man named Frank Debony told me we might find her here up in the Aspens. Blue eyes, hair the color of ripe grain. Have you seen anyone matching that description?"
No, but we are looking for Frank Debony, and we might have an idea that he's headed up in this area. When did you see him?
Oh, it was the other day. Back in town, and ran into him at the store. But not after a report came in of the missing girl.
And,
It's
No, I
been
don't.
on the search for a bit now. Haven't had any luck.
I don't
What?
recall any blondes, but that's more John Cooper's territory anyway.
When did she go? How did she go missing?
I don't have that many specific details. Just know that she has, and me and my boys were asked to come out here and take a look. The rest of the crew, with the posse with Stroh, they stand back. Very reserved they seem. You just get this presence of unfriendliness of them. Hands at their waists. Quiet.
Does Jeb Stroh have some type of badge or anything on?
Yeah, he's got a marshal badge there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So hell, anybody can say they're U.S. Marshal.
Do I see the posse back there? Do they? They look normal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay, all right, all right.
yeah,
Look, I have to ask these things.
yeah. They look
look
normal. They're just very very stern and almost menacing as they just kind of stand behind Jeb.
I just didn't want us to end up with, you know, Jebstro being the spokesperson for 20 undead riders that were just out of sight.
No. We had
He says,
we'd
"Well,
heard
I
of Sarah going missing as well. Do you know what was the date that she was reported? You know?
well I responded to Miss Denslow, Lila had called out, said that she's been gone missing, and to be honest, feels like I've been out here for weeks."
Yeah, we didn't see this guy in town, did we?
Jeb,
Yeah.
That's
yeah, you wouldn't recognize him, no.
I did well. So I did ask what date it was that I guess he come out. Is he just not answering or?
Yeah, you can tell that, like he mentions, he says he feels like he's been out here for weeks, and
Okay.
he seems, you can see it in his face that he seems borderline disoriented.
Okay.
Now, Reverend, do you think we should ask him about the screams?
I was just about to, but I'm nervous about it. Marshal Stroh, we've been following what seems to be maybe some screams coming from this direction. You haven't heard anything like that, have you?
He thinks about that for a moment, and then, oh, what kind of scream?
Like a
Because I did hear some calls. Definitely gonna want to keep your guard up.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were hearing some sounded like people screaming, not calling, screaming in fear for their lives.
You can see in his face that he's probably along the lines of JT and Uncle James, that he heard it as well, but he knows that it's probably not what it is.
Okay.
And he almost gets a little hushed. He says, "Oh, the Chunka Raken, Ringdokus. These dog-like beasts hang out in the trees. Real stealthy creatures. Have to be careful. But they're able to very well mimic the cry of a human."
Oh. That is good to know. Glad we didn't stumble into them.
Yeah, I'd certainly avoid them the best you could. Nasty creatures.
You folks have to fight any of them off being out here for what seems like weeks?
Honestly, no. I'm kind of surprised that you've ran into one or heard one, but
So,
that description fits. They hide up in the trees waiting for a victim.
Fucking drop bears.
Drop
where,
dogs.
Drop dogs.
where have you and the rest of your posse been staying? We ain't seen you in town. You've been just camping out here in the woods for days?
How we been searching? Yeah. Set up camp when we need and continue on. My duty to answer the call of a missing individual or whatever else, and
Your men ain't too talkative.
Nah, no, they ain't. They've call it preserving their energy.
It's
Oh.
Been long, long nights out this way.
quick question. Is Wyoming a state at this point, or is it still a territory?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Well, I didn't know if it said on the main map, if it said like in the, it said like
I think
Wyoming
it's
territory,
territory.
or
I think it's
It
territory.
became a state in 1890, so it's still a territory.
Yeah,
Well, I
yep,
just
yep.
need the-
Wyoming Territories survey map. So
okay.
yeah, yeah. Say
Okay.
so.
All right, because yeah, okay. I reckon a U.S. Marshal's a bit outside of his jurisdiction, the territory potentially.
For another 6 years at least.
I'm gonna ask him whereabouts are you I guess stationed out of there, Marshal? Wyoming's a bit out of the way of any states where marshals typically are.
Oh, well, I'm out of Evanston.
Is that in Wyoming? I
It
know
is,
Evanston.
yes.
I know Evanston, Illinois. I wasn't sure. I was like,
Yeah, it's on the Uinta County map.
okay.
It basically the biggest city there in the
Okay.
county.
Gotcha.
Well,
Well,
it's early in the morning actually. What are you gentlemen up to?
Well, how honest do we want to be here, guys?
Well, I mean, we did already tell him we were looking for Debony.
That's true. Yeah, we're looking for Frank Devaney.
Yeah.
We was camped out and heard those screams and thought we'd investigate. So we appreciate you sharing what you know about him. But I mean, you haven't seen him out here at all, right?
No, not in the forest. As I said before, we made our way out, stopped for some supplies. It's been a bit ago now that I think about it, and yeah, but I feel like I've been going in circles, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I've heard that Sarah was seen out this way, so gotta do my duty.
You know, we heard tell, Marshal, in town that other people have gone missing out here around the forest. Is this your first hunt for a missing person in this area?
Yeah, in this area, yeah. I've heard the same, and you know, Sarah was the one that came across my lap, if you will, and
Well, there was a ridge a little ways back. Maybe we could all head there and see if we can get a vantage point. Might help out.
yeah, we've we've done what we could from up top. Trouble is, outside of these clearings, you know, the forest gets pretty dense, so you have to get down in and travel
Now
around.
we did run across the wagon an hour or two ago.
Oh,
Broken down.
On Lone
Appeared to have
Tree.
been there for on Lone Tree, right off the trail.
I have to take a look at that. Which direction did you say that was?
Back west.
Okay.
Shouldn't miss it. You can keep heading that way.
Well, I assume you're not after those screams anymore. Where are you gentlemen headed off from here?
Oh, we might head to that ridge and make camp.
Yeah, it'd be good to be up high. Ingdokus ain't something to be around, and who knows what else there is in these parts. There's almost a grumble or two of impatience from the others, and Jeb kind of like turns back and gives a nod and says, well, we've got a lot more ground to cover. We'll head towards that wagon, see if there's anything there. I appreciate the info on that.
Good luck, Marshal.
You as well. Maybe we'll run each other again soon.
Maybe.
With that, he begins heading off. His posse, just stone cold silent, moving along. Everyone go ahead and give me a notice check, please.
Apparently, it's my night for eyeballing.
Indeed. So, JT, James, John, you pick up a little bit on this, but definitely the other two. You notice this smell as the group kind of leaves and goes by. A faint, piney odor like fresh pitch. It's tough to say where it comes from, but for some reason you just pick it up as the group leaves.
Why do I feel like that's not the first time something smelled like that? Wasn't there something last session?
Well, it would be common for the aspen trees to have a similar smell, right?
Yeah.
Well, unless they're bringing part of the forest back with them, it's still peculiar. I noticed nobody mentioned our crazy sack man.
No.
Did we get that smell from all of them, or just the ones that hung back and not Jeb himself?
It was hard to tell. It was just like they kind of walked through, and then all of a sudden, like you just got that waft of it. Yeah, it was hard. It wasn't like, you know, okay, that guy's wearing some bad cologne kind of a thing. It was just, it's just something that, you know, them two picked up. Yeah. Yeah, for you, John, it would have been, you just smelt it and like, oh, okay, kind of, you know, make note of it, but yeah.
Yeah, since they had hung back, I didn't know if it was like, oh, we noticed it right away or once they came up to us.
Right.
I can't think of a good explanation other than they are transporting part of the forest in their saddlebags.
Or they got some more pot
Well,
goods.
yeah, I said knowing the shit Debney was into,
Well,
and he was the one that
sent him out
sent
here.
him up this way.
Yep. I think maybe a big company of marshals came to town and he didn't want to have to deal with that, so he sent him looking out here. Something was off with those, with the others. Something was off with, Stro, too.
Well, at least he
I
was
think
able to
he's been out
speak.
here more than a few days.
You definitely get that impression of James. He looked
Ragged.
exhausted. Overworked.
So we really, I mean, even Uncle James doesn't really have a read on what Debony was doing, right? At this point, like magic, sorcery, like
During the
just
during
in
the
general.
shootout,
Between
or
well, we got that, plus we've got the ritual of tree summoning or whatever the garbage that was going on in the barn was.
It's, I mean, I I don't remember exactly, but I get like the impression that he had something to do with um, Gatling
Get
acting strange. Well, and shooting his father.
if it even was Gatlin.
I can't remember. Did we see Gatlin? We didn't see him die, did we?
no, you did
Okay.
not. And actually, he actually was at the barn. He was at the barn. You would have noticed him.
Oh, so he's one of the people we killed at the barn?
Uh, yeah, we'll say he was one of the ones who died.
Because they all
Alright.
died, didn't they?
And yeah, so just some, you know, so yes, to that point there, JT. Not all of the individuals in the barn, all the individuals that you took out, but a few of them. One of them, specifically Gatling, who recognized during the main massacre that a few of the individuals seemed to just kind of almost fall away into like a dust or sludge or whatever.
I think that might have been John.
Was it John? I forget. I thought only one of you did, but one of you recognized that and remembered that the Ghost Steel gang, when you talked to them, they were telling you a story of fighting off miners at the top of the bench,
That disappeared.
and they said
killed
that
Turned into goop.
they just kind of like dissolved is what they described it as. Yeah. And after that, a couple of the individuals, not all of them, but a few of them in that barn fight, same thing happened to them as well. And one of them, yes, being Gatling, it happened to him as well.
And he was acting kind of like that posse there, wasn't he? Very
Yeah.
tight-lipped and
Yeah, you could say so, because when he appeared during the showdown, the
stiff.
standoff, yeah, just quiet, and then he kind of just walked across, emotionless, whatnot, turned around, yeah. Reverend, you were the one that I think saw Debony doing something.
Saw the yeah.
But yeah,
All right, so
so
theory.
I wonder. Oh, go ahead.
Theory. The pod tree infestation that you interrupted, Reverend, in the barn creates duplicates or controllable copies.
One of the
I think
two.
they would call them box. I mean, husk is more of a corn-related term. I mean, if it's a tree, it would be more like a bark.
Perhaps. I was just
But I
saying.
digress.
Sure, we can call
perhaps
them.
the
What'd you say?
A bark.
doctor of the lunar variety had some insights.
Oh, what did he say?
Well, he did. He
he
did
died.
say one of his assistants. That's why I killed him. We just thought he was a murdering son of a bitch, but
Maybe he killed a copy. A
Wait,
bark.
what did he say? He said that one of his assistants.
Was
a pod,
possessed.
was one of the pod
A
people,
pod
and
people, yeah.
he had to kill him. We thought he was just going crazy and killed his assistant because he was paranoid.
You know, the more we find out, the more I think we've been on the wrong side of this fight.
No kidding. The more we find out, it feels like maybe the less we know.
I mean, to be fair, he did have a bunch of plans try to kill the Reverend, so
Yeah, that wasn't pleasant.
And yeah,
There's a
question
lot
is
of
though,
dynamite in that fight.
do we think the Marshall's a pod as well? Because he was pretty chatty. We ain't seen
I
him be talking like that.
my guess is if Debony sent him out here, he probably set him up with that posse. Because I don't think the marshal brought people. He must have gathered them in town. So if Debony set him up with the posse, they very
Set him
well
up
could be pod people.
with a bunch of pod people so that he doesn't get on the
Keep him
trail
out
of where
here.
Sarah Hook actually is. Because
Well,
she's
and more importantly, where he can't come get involved in the war with Heaston.
now we got a marshal in town. Does that mean that he's already a pod person?
Nah, we talked to the town marshal.
And he was in Heaston's pocket. Unless, I mean, he's a mole, but seems
Yeah,
odd.
he's just town marshal. So
Oh,
question
I
is,
think
do
we ought to
we
try to save Mr. or Marshal Stroh here.
I don't know if he needs saving quite yet, but suppose we could head that direction at a safe distance and see what's going on.
Either that or the ridge. I don't have any other good ideas.
I vote the ridge.
Yeah. Maybe we can try to find the marshal again and maybe set up camp with him, or observe them at camp. I wonder if they're doing something to him while he sleeps. It's keeping him, foggy. Although I don't know why they didn't just replace him if that's the case. I mean, we ain't too far from that barn.
Well, as we've seen, I don't think the replaced people are capable of really carrying on like normal folks.
Yeah. And, well, if Debony is at all smart, he probably wouldn't want to permanently disappear a marshal. Probably end up with more breathing down your neck than just one. Well, up on the ridge then?
Let's go, I'd say.
All right. And take off back towards the ridge. Moving through the dense forest. You come through. Before you get there, John, feeling confident that you're leading the group there. Another hour goes by, it feels like. Sun is starting to rise. It's early in the morning. The three of you still doing all right, but exhaustion is there, creeping nearby, knocking on the door. Because you only had 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep, still needing a couple more. But you come and you see a very familiar shape up ahead in the clearing.
Is it the wagon?
The wagon.
Shit.
But it should not be in this direction that you went. That's what throws you off.
Wait a second.
Does John feel pretty confident that he was tracking the right direction, didn't just get mixed
Yes.
up? Okay.
Yep.
What the hell? John, you been drinking?
No, not any time late, but earlier on the way to the wagon the first time, it felt like, I don't know, it sounds crazy, but stuff was moving. Like you'd be going one way, and then suddenly you felt like you were going different direction. Does everything else, I guess, around the wagon look like the same spot it was in?
Yeah,
Not
it
that the
looks
wagon is,
exactly. Yep.
so the same trail and everything. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing seems different at all. You're here at the wagon.
All right, so JT's gonna get off the horse this time and go over to the wagon. I want to like thoroughly look around, crawl through it.
Nothing
Look for
new?
anything weird, anything unusual.
No.
I don't think it's the wagon, JT. I think it's this whole damn forest.
I'm starting to realize why people have gone missing here. Black Moon.
Let's see.
Aspens were corrupting their ghost rock was corrupting the aspens.
John, give me another survival roll. Just to add to the confusion, there's like moss, around trees that it's on the wrong side. It would usually grow in a certain side to, based on the sun or whatever else, and like, it just little details. As you come to the wagon, you're like, what the hell? I know I didn't come this way. And then some of those details kind of seem to like stick out in your mind because you're like, yeah, I remember, following this and that and this, and then you're like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. Just further adds to this disorientation, this confusion.
Hmm.
I have no good ideas.
Yeah, we might be screwed.
How about we keep going, but every time you think to go one way, you go the other way.
Wait, we weren't even heading this way. We were trying to go to the. Can we see the ridge?
Yeah.
I think we were trying to go to the ridge, but the cart or the wagon wouldn't have been in our path, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right, yeah, you seem to have gone a little bit of ways. So
Also,
you went in the general direction of the ridge, but you veered off enough to run into the wagon.
any
Seemingly.
sign of Marshall Stroh?
No,
and his men?
nope, no.
None at all.
And the wagon was on the road, right? Or like just off the road?
Yeah, just off the trail.
But the trail's not around right now, right?
No, it is. It's still there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've
Okay,
come
I
out.
was-
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Should we just,
Maybe we ought to get some shut-eye here. Worst comes to worst, we could follow the trail out.
Yeah, I mean, we
At
need
least
to.
here in the clearing, we're not going to have to worry about drop dogs.
Yeah, we need to get a bit of rest anyway.
Yeah.
So just a few more hours at most.
Yeah, let's get another
You'll be good. So
rest up here for an hour, a couple hours, and let the sun come the rest of the way up too.
all right. So what's the plan for this rest?
I'll watch till people start waking up, and then I'll take my hour. instead of eating breakfast.
Okay.
If that
Yeah.
works for the demon, works for me.
And I guess since it's gonna be not that long, probably just throw down like a saddle on the ground, prop the head up against it, and don't worry about
Comfy.
don't worry about setting up a whole tent and stuff for a couple hours.
Okay. So, you do sit down and rest, and the three of you, Coopers and JT, tired. It doesn't take it doesn't take long to get back into sleep. The travel through the woods has been exhausting. Reverend, you take post and keep an eye out. Reverend, roll me a d6.
Sure.
There's a moment or two where you can feel tired. You know that sometimes it doesn't allow you this convenience of knowing, but you can feel it. But you're able to shrug it off. Give me a notice check, please.
All right. Come
Okay.
on. Yeah, I'm gonna Benny it. Come on. All right.
Alright. You hope it's not the exhaustion that's distracting you, but you also feel good that you're not distracted. You're hoping that the exhaustion is not distracting you. Let the hours pass, and the other three are able to kind of come and wake up and allow you to take your rest that you know is there and being able to handle that. So sun rises early in the morning here as it breaks through the trees. You get your hour of rest as well, Reverend, so. Still here nearby that wagon.
Oh boy. All right. Now what?
Well, we can't follow the trail towards that ridge, right? Like, we have to go
Right.
cross country to get
You have to
that
go
ridge.
further east.
I want to know what's going on with Sackman.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta get to that ridge somehow.
I mean, we could see. Yeah, I mean, I guess since we can see the ridge from here, we should be able to just keep it in focus and keep walking towards it. I mean,
Okay.
let's saddle up, start heading towards the ridge.
Rest it up. Pack up to head along towards that ridge. Deeper into the forest once again. Seems that it's... You get once again to that dense area of the forest that makes the travel more difficult. Manageable, but difficult. It does seem like the ridge is getting closer and closer, but slowly. As you do approach, though, you hear something in the distance. Accompanied by a ting, ting, ting. Sounds like something striking rock. Metal striking rock.
Well, that's enough to make me draw my gun. Let's all move. We should dismount and move quietly, I'd say.
You want to come at it from one direction or sort of flank
I
a
don't know.
whistling
I'm not the
miner?
gunslinger here.
Well, I reckon if y'all want to go towards him, I'll kind of loop around a little bit. But the way this forest is, I don't want to lose sight of you.
Yeah, it may be best if we do stick together.
Good point.
Whistling,
Yeah.
whistling continues, along with the strikes of sound of somebody working, striking at something. Y'all move forward, move towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Quietly.
You come out to a section kind of on the edge of where the forest butts up to an embankment, and it looks like seems to be a little bit of a claim dug out of that embankment there. And you see this older individual, floppy hat on with a long gray beard, just working away, just picking at the ground, picking at the earth. Kind of continues at it. Doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. Back turned.
Shit.
That hat look familiar?
Yeah, that's what I was about
No.
to ask.
No. I mean, it's
It's
It's a hat.
not specifically familiar. Yes, yeah, it's a hat.
Excuse us, sir.
Think. Oh, hello.
It's not Reeg, is it?
No,
Thank
definitely not.
God.
oh, I was thinking Prospector Bob.
Oh no.
Nope, not Bob either.
Debony got to him and stuck him in the spooky forest.
This is just Devaney's prison. He just
Yeah.
throws everyone that he doesn't like in here.
yeah.
He turns around with a bright smile, his eyes wide and brightly white.
Creepy.
With
Like abnormally so, or
just the whites are just heavily visible around the pupils.
okay.
Just gives like a friendly wave.
Howdy, sir. Doing a bit of mining, it looks like, eh?
Gives a nod, says, Orville Miller's my name, hunting the color is my game. There's gold under this earth.
Mining for gold.
You mark my words, youngster. When I find it, though, I ain't sharing it with nobody. Ha! Thing is, sometimes I hear sounds late at night. You ever heard them sounds?
The
He just kind of gives this weird cackle.
yeah, the sounds. Right, guys? We've heard the sounds. What do you
So
say?
y'all after that gold too?
Oh, we're looking for
No.
a man.
Oh, you found one.
Well,
But you ain't the
a specific one.
ain't the one I'm
You
looking
ain't
for.
you ain't seen one come through last night, have you? I try to describe Debony as best as I can.
What did this guy say his name was? Orville Redenbacher?
Orville Miller?
Miller, yeah. Orville Miller. No, laid camp last night, and if I ain't sleeping, I'm digging.
How
As I
long
said, there's
you-
gold under this earth.
how long you been working this claim here?
Oh, a few weeks now.
He's been out here for years.
Yeah, I ain't heard of anyone mining for gold out by outskirts of Heaston Hill.
Oh, gold's everywhere, son.
You're not looking for ghost rock,
No.
but gold. All right?
Gold.
It's just entirely
Gotta watch
too
out for them
mundane.
sounds late at nights.
Are you talking about? It sounds like a person screaming. Is that what you're talking about?
He just got a cackles again.
Oh Lord. have mercy.
You guys can all give me a common knowledge roll if you like.
I have some
Is this
knowledge
another
about
missing
common
person
things.
that we've heard about?
He does set his pickaxe down and steps forward. Care to share a drink, gentlemen? And he pulls out a little flask and hands that out to the group.
I'm not a partaker myself. Perhaps my friends will.
Well, that
thank you.
depends, Orville. What you got in that flask?
Oh, it's the good stuff.
I'll take a swig.
Orville
Hands it
Miller,
over, and it's pretty pungent right from the
still.
flask. Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyone else? Takes it back.
Yeah.
JT, you notice that Mr. Miller doesn't seem to have any provisions on hand. He does mention that he's been here a bit. He also doesn't take any drinks of that whiskey as well.
Well,
And I'll also say, JT, that
It was John that got the best common knowledge.
oh, sorry, yes. Okay, so John, that'd be more what you found. John, you also would know that there's massively low, almost zero chance of him finding gold out here. Like, there's just in this area, just for some reason, that bit of knowledge comes to mind.
Did he react at all when I mentioned Heaston Hill?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Not in any particular way.
Okay.
Well, I ain't really looking for a drink, but if you got a pot of coffee or maybe a slab of bacon you could spare.
Kind of like he tilts his head a little bit and just like, no, fresh out. I'm just here to look for gold.
You
Perhaps we can
peckin'.
sell you some of our provisions.
Oh, that would be no trouble. I certainly would not want to trouble you.
You packing pretty light for a man that's staying out here day and night.
No rests. Or the working.
No eating, no drinking, neither.
Just kind of like stares blankly off for a moment. And seems to mutter something under his breath. And all give me a notice check.
Oh.
Did yours roll, Reverend? Oh, there it goes. Yep. Okay, caught up. Yeah. All right. So most of you get most of this. Uncle James, you just hear under his breath. He just kind of as you seem to be pressing him, questioning him, and whatnot, and you just hear come out from under his breath. The mother sees you. The mother sees all. And then seems as if he didn't miss a beat. He just goes back to swinging the pickaxe at the ground.
Well, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear anything. Well, looks like
Y'all
you wanna
not
get
here
back
after my
to it.
gold, are you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
This man's a cannibal. For sure. Either that.
More of a silver miner myself.
For the love of God, I wish that I had something that was like detect magic or something like that. Need more powers.
You damn veteran
Oh.
status.
Yeah, well, my
Are we
dumbass
veteran
decided to
now?
get
You have
glow in
to
the dark eyes
use-
instead.
Yeah, you have to use advances. But
Yeah.
how
I thought
what is
I
the
thought we were
range?
seasoned still.
No, we're
No,
veterans
we
as
just
of
hit
last
8.
advance.
That how many advances?
8.
8. Okay. Yeah, I must just misread the number it took.
This man is going to eat Uncle James.
Have you seen anyone else out here besides us and yourself in these weeks, Orville?
He's still like picking at the rock. No, just myself. Gold's all to myself. The
Is
sounds and the sounds. And the gold.
his back is turned to us at the moment, right? Because he's minus.
Yeah, he's kind of turned back to, yeah.
Could I deal with the devil to cast Detect Arcana?
Yeah.
It does exist.
Is that a Deadlands, or do you know if that's base power? I'm gonna read
I
the.
I would assume that's
Don't
base.
know.
Yeah, probably.
To see and
Oh, yep,
detect
I got
all
it.
supernatural persons, objects, or effects in sight for 5 rounds. Includes invisible foes, enchantments on people or items, weird science devices, and so on.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead.
Alright, where is... There's a hotbar?
Got a Joker.
Yeah.
It costs you 2 power points, so you don't need very much at all. But imagine with that Joker, you're good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see...
You got actually you got 2 4s, so you got 3 of a kind. Actually,
Yeah.
is there first and third
I'm like,
card?
I've been...
Full
No,
house?
I'm like 1 card away from...
Or is that like a
from-
king and a queen or something? They're so damn hard
That's
to read.
a queen and an ace, I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
no, I
is
was
the
hoping
Joker
I could get
wild,
a-
so he could get a
Yeah,
full
Joker's
house.
wild.
No, I don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
2 of another kind.
Yeah.
I have an ace, queen, 10, joker, 2 4s, and a 6, looks like.
Yeah, so 3 of a kind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's 6 power points. For 3 of a kind.
Alright. 6 power points. So
Oh,
I
and you
got-
get your
I'll
thing
have a
back
plus
because of the
4.
Joker. Nice.
Oh, nice. Alright, so let's,
Okay, so it goes off. I don't think there's anything with raises.
it did say something. I don't know if it'll apply, though. Oh, it says general type of, Yeah,
Detect
so-
allows characters to penalties. Recipient of the power to see, detect supernatural persons, object effects, visible foes, enchantments.
It says
with
with a raise, the caster
raise-
knows the general type.
Type of enchantment as well. Okay. Yeah, so you definitely pick something up coming from Mr. Miller here. It's not something you recognize at all, and that's the problem here, is that you can't place what it is. But you pick something up. Also with your other notice roll earlier as well, there's a slight hint of that same kind of piney pitch smell from before that you recognized.
The thing I drank didn't smell like that, did it?
No, it was whiskey. It was
Okay.
legit. Yeah.
He just don't need it, because before sustains. Can I tell if it's like magic or like ghost rock or related or anything like that? I guess that's kind of a gray area.
No, actually, you do get a little. There's a little bit of a similarity, if you will, with what you felt with. Is it Lucy? JT?
Oh, rock.
The nugget.
Lilith.
Lily.
Lily.
Lily, that's right. Lily. Yeah. Yeah, that just like ominous, dark, heavy presence that you felt from that, you almost pick up a little bit of that here as well. Just the taint of it, yeah.
It's
But
just,
there's, I mean, that's part of it, but yeah.
okay. Well, I'll let the guys know once we're away from Mr. Over enthusiasm over here.
That's a name for him, for sure.
What the I guess are we walking away from him then?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
away.
He's just
slowly, keeping
continuing
our eyes
to
on him.
pick at the earth. Yeah. Whistling away.
Another soul claimed by whatever this is. Wish I knew how to help them.
Well, my morbid curiosity does have an idea or two.
I mean, if they
You,
ain't
you guys
really-
said you were walking away, heading away.
Yeah, we're away.
James, Uncle James, whether it's just alertness or that connection to detecting the whatever is going on here, magical or otherwise, but even as you turn and walk away, you hear that voice again, almost in your head. The mother sees you. The mother sees all.
Did y'all catch that?
Catch.
What he mumbled?
I did not.
The second time, anyone else probably wouldn't have. The first time, I think at least a couple other of you did. If you succeeded,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
you would have heard some mutterings.
We heard mutterings, but only James made it.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Clearly knew.
James?
The mother sees you. The mother sees all.
The mother tree.
I would assume so.
Oh. Yeah, this place is just really
And
sucking down souls.
I did get a hint of something, but I couldn't quite place it, but it felt somewhat similar to what was going on with the nugget. That kind of presence.
Ghost rock.
And I mean, if it's affecting the trees out here, that might have something to do with it.
Now, there
Jinky.
are stories that large amounts of ghost rock can bridge spirits, darkness, demons, souls. I mean, it's all connected, right?
But people have lived here for a long time. Why is this just now happening? Ghost rock's not new. I mean, it's a mineral. It's been in the ground, isn't it?
Its discovery is not that old, Reverend.
Right.
Reverend, give me a survival check. Common not. Either or. Give me either or. Survival or common knowledge.
I'll definitely take common knowledge there.
You're trying to put the pieces together. You think to yourself, ghost rock, it's in the ground, mineral, it's been here a long time. Dr. Moon talked about the Aspens. What you've seen so far. For some reason you remember some conversation, some research or study or just information. Aspens are very unique
Yes, they are.
in that they are potentially a single organism connected to their roots. All their roots are connected to each other in the ground.
Right. I remember I did some preaching out at a logging camp up north. Well, not north from here. Back east from here. Talked about aspens being one creature. Their roots are all connected underground. So if this mother tree was infected with ghost rock, then it would have spread to the rest of them.
That would explain why the whole forest seems wonky.
And she's what? Sending out saplings for help?
Maybe. I mean, maybe it was Debony that did the infecting in the first place. Maybe he found it like that. Either way, he's getting something out of this. Power or knowledge or...
Control over the old Earth Mother, the Great Aspen.
We need to find the mother tree, but...
I wonder if we brought the nugget here,
Oh, Lord.
if the forest would lead us there.
Billy does love a good journey.
I mean, if this is feeding off of ghost rock, I can imagine it wanting that lump of it.
Or not wanting it. As in seeking to destroy it.
We're having a hell of a time just getting to this goddamn ridge. You want to try to get all the way out of the forest?
I mean, we got the road, which we can probably not find at this point. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying.
As we've gone east, have we noticed the trees getting thicker, older?
The individual trees? Not like significantly, but
Okay.
they're definitely more dense. Like as you
There are
go
more of
further
them?
east, yeah, there's a lot more of them. Yeah.
I mean, it might be just as simple as following density of the trees, but we have to not get lost. This forest seems to turn you around.
Hmm.
We still have no idea where Reeg is. I mean, he's probably in here somewhere.
But then we still have the bag man we were trying to get to the ridge to find.
Is there more that I'm not putting together here, Todd? That you were trying to get me to hint at?
No, I think, yeah.
Aspen trees. Single organism.
Question is, this miner over here doesn't really seem to be himself.
And that brings me back to my morbid curiosity.
What do you want to do to him?
Put a bullet in the back of his head, see if he disappears.
No.
Well, because if he is a pod person,
Yeah, and
copy,
if he's not,
whatever.
If he's not, then you'll have just murdered an innocent man.
Hence the morbid part of the curiosity, yes.
Right.
Well, how's he staying alive without eating or drinking?
My money's on, he's already dead or never was alive or...
No, I'm dead. I still have to eat.
I have a theory on that too, actually. I don't think you're eating for nutritional
Gotta clip
purposes.
that.
I actually think you're supplying a sacrifice of organic products to the other side to keep the other guy fed.
Well, that is just something else.
We should feed you carrots and see what happens.
Do you have a carrot?
No. You know what?
All right.
Strike that. Let's go back to the other situation.
Yeah, let's.
Put a bullet in the back of Orville's head. We see if he disappears.
Oh.
I mean, all God's creatures, great and small. Does that apply to pod people?
I don't know. I have not the slightest clue. Pod people don't have a lot of text space in the Bible. Not a lot of mention. I have no idea. Whatever this is, it ain't from God, that's for sure. None of this has anything to do with the good parts of the good book.
Mr. Cooper, since you are the best shot and you'll make it the most painless,
Lord.
perhaps you should execute Orville, mid-whistle. You should go out happy.
Oh, I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
Oh Lord. I don't know if John wants to go up and just execute a person.
Yeah. I think we can safely assume that he will turn and wither away. Based on the way he's acting, the slight.
See, you've already been convinced. You're morbidly curious too.
But there is a chance that he will not. Or a bigger chance that perhaps these people can be cured of whatever's wrong with them. Their souls can be returned, or if they're duplicates, they can be rejoined with the other
Did we not agree that the science is my proclivity and the souls are your proclivity?
Yes,
All right.
but
So first of all, let's establish Orville is not human. And then we'll worry about how to cure the other Orvilles in the future.
oh, God above.
Well, we know approximately where he is if we want to come back.
If we can find him again.
You just gotta walk along the ridge line.
Shh.
Surely we can't get lost with keeping the rock to our right or something like that.
You
Surely
would think
not.
so. Very
I think
Look
you're
at the rock.
confusing the we of us with the John Cooper of us.
Well, even so.
If our tracker gets trounced,
By
we
the
ain't
way,
getting out of here.
Uncle James, are you feeling anything from that drink that he gave you?
No,
pretty good.
That's a relief.
if.
You let us know if you start to feel tree-like or smell of
Wasn't
aspen.
gin.
You know,
Well,
I've
it
always
won't be
been a
that
rambler,
hard to
but
tell.
I'm getting the proclivity to put down some roots.
Yeah, we just have to make sure he doesn't get up and leave.
Yep. Well,
Think
with
like
the
a tree
way
and get out of here.
I wondered if you'll dissolve.
all of us will dissolve eventually.
Now you're not even being fair about it.
I don't know what you want from me. Okay, are you gonna kill this man? Because it sounds like JT that if you're gonna do if you're gonna do an experiment, it's down to you to do it.
I think he's asking for your blessing is all.
I'm not giving my blessing on this. No, sir.
Well, I
I'm
can't.
not
mean,
entirely comfortable with the
What if I
news,
just
but-
wound him? What if only half of
Uh,
him disappears because I'm not a good shot?
What if we just walk up and punch him in the face and see what happens?
What would you do?
If you were an infected pod person and someone punched you in the face while you were holding a pickaxe trying to mine for gold.
Well, so I'm
What
wondering. I'm
if
just
you're
saying.
Just a
Well,
person mine for gold.
We'll find out if he's just
Yeah.
a person then.
I think the reaction might be similar either way.
Also, if we start a fight and then kill him, do the pod people all know what happens to each other?
Well,
I
the
mean-
mother tree sees all,
Oh,
apparently.
exactly. Which is why shooting him in the back of the head when he's not aware is clearly the best answer. Just in case we have to talk to Mother later.
Well, that's true. Maybe Mother Tree wouldn't.
Yeah,
wouldn't
but if she
appreciate
sees
killing
us
him.
right now, the trees are right here. They're
And,
right here.
There's a marshal roaming these woods with a posse of pod people. And
Also a theory.
what do you want to bet if we do this? He gets alerted to that and starts hunting us.
Fascinating.
That ain't really a bet I'm willing to take at the moment.
I'm-
Alright. My morbid curiosity can go back in the box for now, but mark
that's
my
a relief.
words.
What
We need a better
words?
way to know
That
if we're dealing with a pod person.
I think the way to know is if they smell like pine.
Yeah, but the weird thing with this one though is he was talking, offering
Yeah.
us drinks.
That's a good point.
The ones before seemed
A little less advanced. or a little more advanced?
A little less emotive, at
Tara!
least.
Tara, who? You hear a familiar voice.
Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
Well, let's
wanna
see if he
see-
see if he remembers
Hey,
us. If he's on...
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Thanks for running
Marshall,
into y'all again.
Marshall, you ever find that wagon that we told you about?
No. Marshall looks exhausted.
The Marshall, the them companions you riding with. Did you bring them yourself? They deputies of yours, or
Yeah,
where the hell did you get them?
yeah, there he is.
What are the names?
Rattles him off.
Okay, so you actually gave them names. Okay, I'm not gonna make
Tom,
it
Dick,
come
and
up.
Harry. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to actually make you come up with names. I was just curious if I actually had names for them. Okay.
Yeah.
What are their wives' name? Their children.
He
What do they
knows them
like to
all.
eat?
Marshall, you had a bite to eat recently? Or any of your men?
Just a little bit of rations that we've been sparing. You know, kind of running thin. Yeah, it's been tough to. Even when I thought about trying to leave the forest, it's been tough. It's so easy to get turned around in here. It's boys said we're due for a break, and I think we're gonna try and head back into town. So, welcome to come along if you want. Heading that way.
Well, I don't know, fellas. You looking to head out yet, or
I'd say if we could find the road, that'd make it pretty easy.
That's been the trouble. Maybe a few more eyes and be a bit easier.
JT? You got any of your special drinks you cook up?
I do have some of Doc Maynard's finest.
Oh well, I was seeing the marshal out here and his crew looking as tired as they are. I thought maybe they'd enjoy a drink before they head out.
Absolutely. I pull out a couple of flasks of the moonshine and walk over to the gentleman, start handing them out. Share up, share up. There's plenty more. I have a wagon chuck full of barrels full of this stuff.
The marshal takes his. What do you give him some of the
moonshine.
elixir or the moonshine?
Yeah,
Okay.
I read John wrong.
Okay.
when I,
Yeah, that's what-
brought
That's
up
fine.
Doc Maynard.
So he takes it and gives it a whiff, and he almost a wrinkle of the nose at first says, "Oh, strong," but he throws it back. The rest of the individuals all just kind of shrug it off.
None of y'all? The most sober bunch of deputies I ever seen in my life. You know, normally, when a
They're
group of
just
men
trying to
spend
keep their wits about them.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, Marshal. Speaking of wits, you boys got opinions on anything?
Oh boy.
Give me a quick notice check, JT.
Should have drank some of Doc Maynard's myself. This is where the dice are gonna fail me.
Oh, look at that.
You were saying?
Yes.
Hey,
It helps that they are all staring at you. There's 3 deputies. So there's Jeb and then 3 others. And they're staring at, just dead eye staring at you. And you see almost a similar look that you saw in Orville. This almost wild look to their eyes. The whites are heavily visible all around their pupils.
They ain't very talkative, are they, JT?
No, they are not.
John Cooper's going to pull his knife out from the sheath on his holster. He's just gonna walk over to the nearest aspen tree and
Oh, shit.
kind of hold the knife in his hand. I mean, it's just downright rude to refuse a drink when it's offered to you. And with that, he's just gonna kind of put the knife blade into the tree and just kind of not stab it, but just kind of like cut into it a little bit, just as he watches him.
Give me a notice check.
While he's doing that, has it been 24 hours? Is my fatigue gone?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. I didn't mean to roll that. That's my bad.
You notice
Reverend,
in John, you notice in a couple of them the slightest wince.
Oh,
They seem pretty stoned though. Otherwise,
Just in the deputies, though.
yes, only in the deputies.
Okay.
So I sort of turn and point at John Cooper. You know, John Cooper, you're a damn genius. I bet you that none of these guys know that Jeremy Heaston's dead yet. And you know the last thing Jeremy Heaston said was? And I whip around and stare him right in the eye, going for a total taunt on this one, Todd. When you see an aspen tree, you light that bitch on fire.
They stare back at you, seemingly completely unmoved.
yeah, you might actually have to light it on fire. Please don't, though.
Well, I mean, John's main intent was just confirming what we
Yeah.
suspected, that it was those guys and not the poor Marshall here who's running ragged.
So then I'll turn to the Reverend. Well, now I got nothing left but morbid curiosity.
Hold on a moment.
Let me back that up. JT, give me a taunt or intimidation at -2.
Man, that anvil's come up quite a bit today.
I'm changing my
Okay.
dice over to have those Daniels on them.
Yeah, no kidding.
There actually was a very noticeable reaction when you mentioned that.
So I'll just tweak that last line a little bit and I'll say, well, it's never too late for some morbid curiosity, eh, Reverend?
Just... Marshall, out of curiosity, and I'll try to kind of like turn him away from his goons, and kind of speak quietly and say, "You been separated from your men at any point?"
No. No.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, if... See his eyes heavy. It's... I mean, I guess technically, while we're in our dreams, camp. Man, I'd love to have camp right now. So long. Otherwise, no.
Marshal, I'm afraid that your men aren't your men anymore.
What are you saying?
See, we've been doing some looking around here. The trees take people's souls, I think. We met a miner not too long ago. Had that same look about him. Wild-eyed. And you notice how your men have been here for just as long as you have? But they don't seem tired. They're not talking, they're not begging for camp.
Now that you mention it, thought I had picked the right crew.
I'm afraid your men might be, I don't really know. Might be dead. There's quite a few people in town that are the same way.
Question is, do you want to keep riding with them, or you want to put them down right here in the woods?
You all see and hear. You hear the click jingle. You turn and the deputies pull up their weapons. Revolvers, rifles. Those milky white, bright wild eyes staring intently at all of you. Not saying anything, just staring you down. Weapons trained towards each of you.
Including the marshal, or just us?
To everyone, yes. There is only 3 of them. There's 5 of you, but in your general direction.
Well, I'm right there in front of him.
I will.
Give me notice checks real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Uncle James and JT. Amidst this as well, you hear something from behind. With a quick look back, you see that white-bearded individual. And you just hear out mutter, "I told you the mother sees all."
Boy.
With his axe raised, double-fisted in a offensive position. And with that,
Are we doing this?
we will end tonight's session.
Okay.
That was part of my concern about keeping them alive, is that's one more person to come come around later.
Yeah.
So,
Told you.
we will come back in a couple weeks. See how you handle this odd posse and miner. And maybe continue deeper into the forests to find the root of the problem.
Wow.
Well done, Todd.
Yes, yes. So, all right.
I'm
Good
rubbing
stuff,
off
everyone.
on Todd.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Continue on with some more Headstone Hill. Good night, all.